West Virginia was never built on easy ground. The mountains made everything harder, the roads more winding, the winters more severe, the communities more isolated. And yet for generations, those mountains also produced something rare, a fierce, rooted sense of belonging. People stayed. Not because it was simple. Because it was home. That hold is breaking. The state's population peaked at over 2 million in 1950. By 2020, it had fallen to 1,793,716, a decline spanning 7 decades, while the rest of America doubled in size. Between 2020 and 2024, West Virginia recorded the largest percentage population decline of any state in the nation, according to U.S. Census Bureau data. It was one of only 3 states to lose population from 2023 to 2024. And of those 3, it lost the most. More people are dying than are being born. Communities that once ran on coal, on railroads, on timber, on the extraction of everything beneath the mountains are now running on memory. Today, Discover the States reveals the 8 West Virginia cities and counties, where the exodus has moved from trend to crisis, where homes stand empty, schools are closing, and the communities built over generations are confronting a future that grows smaller every year. Number 8. Clarksburg. Clarksburg once carried a different kind of weight. Harrison County's largest city, it grew as a regional commercial hub, a place where the surrounding communities came to shop, to work, to build a life. Its Victorian downtown architecture still stands as a reminder of what prosperity looked like here a century ago. That prosperity has not returned. According to West Virginia Explorer's 2025 city population analysis, Clarksburg's population has fallen to approximately 15,489 residents, down from 16,039 in the 2020 census. That decline continues, a trajectory that has been moving in one direction for decades. According to Narada Real Estate's West Virginia housing forecast, Clarksburg is among the cities projected to see stagnation or slight declines in home prices through the forecast period, a reflection, not of market volatility, but of a market with structural demand problems. When population declines persistently and the buyer pool thins year after year, prices don't crash dramatically. They simply stop growing. They flatten, they drift lower. And sellers who need to exit discover that the buyers they expected are no longer there. The housing data from Adam confirms the broader statewide picture. The median home price in West Virginia sits at $250,000 as of October 2025, and average home age across the state is 57 years. In Clarksburg, where the housing stock is older, where incomes are constrained, and where young adults are leaving for opportunity elsewhere, that aging inventory competes for a buyer pool that grows thinner every year. Clarksburg's downtown still has its bones. The architecture is still there. The potential is visible to anyone who looks, but potential without population is just a beautiful empty room. Number 7. Fairmont. Fairmont sits in Marion County, positioned between Morgantown to the north and Clarksburg to the south, equidistant from 2 cities that represent opposite ends of West Virginia's population story. Morgantown is growing, Clarksburg is shrinking, and Fairmont, caught between them, is being pulled apart. According to West Virginia Explorer, Fairmont's 2025 population estimate sits at approximately 1,855 residents, a city that has not grown meaningfully in decades and continues to age in place. Narada Real Estate's West Virginia housing forecast explicitly names Fairmont among the cities projected to see either slight declines or stagnation in home prices. That projection is a market signal, not a guess. It reflects the same underlying reality visible across Marion County. A population that is aging faster than it is being replaced, a buyer pool that is not expanding, and a housing inventory that is increasingly competing for a diminishing number of qualified purchasers. According to WV Metro News, during the 3-year period ending July 2023, West Virginia recorded 89,419 deaths but only 55,715 births statewide, more deaths than births. That natural population decline is not abstract in a city like Fairmont. It is visible in the classrooms that are less full, in the neighborhoods where longtime residents pass away, and their homes sit longer before finding a buyer, in the commercial corridors where businesses that once served a larger community have quietly closed. Fairmont is not collapsing dramatically. It is thinning, steadily, year by year. And in West Virginia, that quiet kind of decline is the most persistent kind. Number 6. Parkersburg. Parkersburg was once West Virginia's window to the wider world. Positioned at the confluence of the Ohio and Little Kanawha rivers, it served as a gateway for oil, gas, and commerce flowing in and out of the state. Its Victorian architecture, among the finest in West Virginia, reflects the wealth that once moved through this city. That window is narrowing. According to 2025 census data, Parkersburg's population sits at approximately 29, U25, down from higher levels in prior decades, continuing the westward River City decline that has hollowed out communities up and down the Ohio Valley. According to Narada Real Estate's West Virginia housing forecast, the Parkersburg market is among those projected to see stagnation or decline in home prices through the forecast period. The region's economic base has not recovered the diversity it once had. The manufacturing and chemical industry employment that sustained Wood County's middle class for decades has contracted. What remains is a city with remarkable historic bones and a buyer pool that is not growing. According to the WV Center on Budget and Policy's analysis of census data, 47 of West Virginia's 55 counties lost population between 2014 and 2024. Wood County, home to Parkersburg, was among those declining, and the statewide demographic reality compounds the local one. More West Virginians are dying than are being born. International migration is the only factor preventing even steeper losses. In a river city like Parkersburg, far from the economic draws of the Eastern Panhandle or Morgantown, international migration provides limited offset. The Ohio River still flows past Parkersburg's riverfront. The Victorian homes still stand. The history is real and worth preserving, but history alone does not sustain a housing market. People do, and the people are leaving. Number 5. Wheeling. Wheeling was once the largest city in West Virginia. In 1900, no city in the state outranked it. It was the Northern Panhandle's industrial crown, a place where steel and glass manufacturing built fortunes and sustained communities for generations. Today it is West Virginia's 5th largest city, and it is still shrinking. According to current census data, Wheeling's population has declined to approximately 26,208 to 27,6048 residents, depending on the estimate, a shadow of the city that once led the state. Ohio County, which contains Wheeling, has experienced persistent population loss. According to the West Virginia Center on Budget and Policy's analysis of census data, 47 of West Virginia's 55 counties lost population from 2014 to 2024. Ohio County was among them. The housing market reflects this demographic reality. According to Narada Real Estate's West Virginia forecast, the Wheeling area shows the characteristics of a market in structural stagnation, not crashing, but not recovering. The median home price in West Virginia overall sits at $250,000, according to October 2025 data. In Wheeling, where the housing stock averages 57 years old, the statewide average, and likely older in this historic city, buyers face the prospect of significant maintenance costs layered on top of a market with no appreciation catalyst. Wheeling still has genuine assets: the Capitol Theater, Ogle Bay Park, the Suspension Bridge, the kind of authentic, lived-in history that newer Sunbelt cities spend millions trying to manufacture. But assets without population growth are monuments, beautiful, meaningful, and empty of the economic energy that sustains communities. Ohio County is losing the demographic battle that every northern Panhandle county faces. The young leave, the older residents stay, the schools consolidate, the tax base thins, and the houses take longer and longer to sell. Number 4. Huntington. Huntington carries a weight that most American cities have never been asked to bear. It became a national symbol of the opioid crisis. President Obama's administration visited. Documentaries were made. The city's name became shorthand for the human cost of economic collapse, a place where the departure of jobs and the arrival of despair created a public health emergency visible to the entire country. The data tells the story with precision. According to the WV University Bureau of Business and Economic Research county population projections, Cabell County, home to Huntington, is projected to see continued population decline through 2040. The West Virginia Watch's analysis of OVU's projections places Kanawha County at a projected 6% population loss by 2040. Cabell County's trajectory runs parallel. Huntington's population has fallen from its mid-century peaks to approximately 45,325 residents in 2025, according to West Virginia Explorer. Marshall University provides an anchor, but like all university towns in West Virginia, Huntington faces the fundamental challenge of educating students, who then leave the state entirely. According to West Virginia Public Broadcasting, West Virginia loses residents consistently through domestic outmigration. The young adults Marshall produces are part of that outflow. According to Norada Real Estate's West Virginia housing forecast, the Huntington area faces projected stagnation or price declines in home values. The opioid recovery has made meaningful progress. The city has become a national model for harm reduction and community response. But economic recovery moves slower than public health response. The jobs that left Cabell County have not returned in sufficient numbers to reverse the population decline that drives housing demand. Huntington is a city fighting back with genuine courage and creativity. But fighting back and winning are not the same thing. And the census data, year after year, shows the same direction. Number 3, Charleston. Charleston is West Virginia's capital city. Its largest, its most economically diverse. The Golden Dome of the state capital rises above the Kanawha River as a symbol of permanence and authority. And yet even Charleston is losing people. Kanawha County, home to Charleston, has declined 4.2% since 2020, according to World Population Review's 2025 analysis. That means the state's most populous county, with approximately 173,000 residents, has shed thousands of residents in just 5 years. And OVU's Bureau of Business and Economic Research projects Kanawha County to lose an additional 6% of its population by 2040. Charleston's population has fallen from 48,864 in the 2020 census to approximately 46,838 in 2025, a drop of over 2,000 people in 5 years in the city that was supposed to anchor the state's economic future. The Norada Real Estate West Virginia housing forecast names Charleston explicitly among the cities projecting either slight declines or stagnation in home prices. And the statewide data from ADAM confirms the pressure. With West Virginia's median home price at $250,000 and average home age at 57 years, the cost of maintaining aging housing stock in a market without appreciation becomes an increasing burden for owners and a deterrent for buyers who could choose newer stock elsewhere. The mechanism is not complicated. When a state's capital city loses population, when deaths outnumber births statewide, when 47 of 55 counties are shrinking, the housing market cannot manufacture demand that doesn't exist. Government employment provides stability. It does not provide growth, and a city built primarily around the machinery of state government eventually confronts the ceiling that places without private sector dynamism always face. Charleston is still West Virginia's best-positioned city. That reality, in a state losing population faster than almost any other, says something uncomfortable about what the rest of the state is facing. Number 2, Logan and Mingo counties, the coalfield collapse. There are places in America where the economic catastrophe is not approaching. It has already arrived, settled in, and made itself at home. Logan and Mingo counties in the southern West Virginia coalfields are those places. According to World Population Review's 2025 data, Mingo County has declined 9.8% since 2020. According to UBVU's Bureau of Business and Economic Research county projections cited by West Virginia Watch, Mingo County is projected to lose an additional 19.4% of its population by 2040. Logan County faces a projected 14.4% further decline by the same date. The West Virginia Center on Budget and Policies analysis confirmed that between 2010 and 2018, Logan County lost 11.3% of its population and Mingo County lost 11.4%, among the fastest declining counties in the entire state during that period. The decline has not stopped. It has deepened. According to Mountain State Spotlight's reporting, 11 West Virginia counties are classified as being in persistent poverty, defined as maintaining a poverty rate above 20% for 30 or more consecutive years. Logan and Mingo counties are on that list. 3 or more decades of poverty above 20%. Not a cycle, a condition. What does persistent poverty do to a housing market? It eliminates the buyer, not temporarily. Structurally, when median household incomes are far below state and national averages, when unemployment remains elevated, when the industry that built the community coal has mechanized away the jobs that sustained it, the pool of qualified mortgage buyers does not just shrink, it nearly disappears. Williamson, Mingo County's county seat, sits along the Tug Fork River at the Kentucky border. It was once a thriving railroad and coal hub. Today it is a community fighting to maintain basic services: hospitals, schools, grocery stores for a population that grows smaller every year. The mountains around Logan and Mingo are still beautiful. The communities still have people in them who love this land with fierce, genuine devotion. But love does not reverse demographic math. And the math in the southern coalfields is among the most severe in America. Number 1. McDowell County, the American warning. No place in America tells the story of what happens when an economy dies and a population leaves more completely than McDowell County, West Virginia. In 1950, McDowell County was thriving, the coal mines were full. The population had swelled to 98,887 residents, nearly 100,000 people living in a single county deep in the Appalachian Mountains, sustained by the most productive coal fields in American history. By 2020, that population had fallen to 1,690, a decline of more than 80% in 70 years. And it is still falling. According to World Population Review's 2025 data, McDowell County has declined 11.8% since 2020 alone. According to UBAVU's Bureau of Business and Economic Research projections cited by West Virginia Watch, McDowell is projected to lose a further 31.8% of its remaining population by 2040. The county that held nearly 100,000 people is projected to hold fewer than 10,000 within 2 decades. The housing data from Wikipedia's McDowell County article drawing on Q1 2025 data confirms what population decline does to real estate. When a county loses over 80% of its population, the concept of a housing market as most Americans understand it ceases to function. Properties have no buyers. Values are not declining, they are simply absent. The market has not crashed, it has evaporated. According to West Virginia Watch's analysis of investigative journalism from the 1990s, 10 companies owned more than 75% of all private land in McDowell County at that time. The land that built a community of 100,000 was never truly owned by the people who lived and worked on it. When the coal companies left when the extraction was complete, and the profit had moved elsewhere, they took the economic engine with them. And the people followed. What remains in McDowell County is not just an empty landscape. It is an American warning, a demonstration of what happens when a community's entire existence is built on a single extractive industry, when absentee ownership extracts the wealth, without investing in diversification, and when the federal and state policy response arrives too late or too small to reverse the trajectory. Welch, the county seat, still has a courthouse, still has a post office, still has residents who remember what this place was and refuse to leave what remains. Their commitment is genuine and deserves recognition, but commitment cannot rebuild a tax base. It cannot reopen a closed hospital. It cannot bring back the school that consolidated or the grocery store that closed when the customer base fell below viability. It cannot stop the demographic math that West Virginia University's researchers project will take McDowell County below 10,000 residents within a generation. McDowell County is not just a West Virginia story. It is a story about what unchecked economic decline looks like when it runs its full course across generations. It is what the other cities in this video are moving towards, some faster, some slower, but all pointed in the same direction if the forces emptying them are not addressed. 8 cities, 8 data sets. One story that has been unfolding for 70 years. Let's be honest, as we always are on this channel. West Virginia is not without hope. Berkeley County in the Eastern Panhandle has grown 12.9% since 2020. Jefferson County has grown 6.2%. Monongalia County, home to Morgantown, and West Virginia University has grown nearly 10%. International migration added over 2,800 residents statewide in recent years, slowing the net population loss. The state's unemployment rate as of May 2025 sits at 3.8%, near historic lows. These are real data points. They deserve acknowledgement. But they do not change what the broader data shows. West Virginia recorded the largest percentage population decline of any state between 2020 and 2024, according to the Census Bureau. 47 of 55 counties lost population between 2014 and 2024. More West Virginians are dying than are being born. UVU projects McDowell County will lose another 31.8% of its remaining population by 2040. Mingo County will lose 19.4%, Logan County 14.4%. Even Kanawha County, home to the state capital, is projected to lose 6%. These projections are not predictions of a possible future. They are the mathematical continuation of a trend that has been running, with occasional pauses but no reversals, for 7 decades. West Virginia's mountains are extraordinary. Its people are resilient. Its communities carry a depth of identity and history that most of America has traded away for convenience. But identity does not pay for hospital wings. Resilience does not fund school budgets. History does not attract the private investment and economic diversification that reverses population decline. Understanding where the pressure is building is no longer optional. These communities deserve honest attention, not comfortable silence. Thank you for watching this in-depth report from Discover the States. If you found this analysis valuable, leave a comment with your perspective. Share this video to spread awareness, and make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss what comes next.